All right, welcome to the relationship show. This guy writes this post. Why can't I just chill? So he says, I hate the fact that I have to work so hard to suppress the urge to be needy, overeager, insecure, seek reassurance, etc. So there's like a first conflict right there. So he's saying he hates the urge to resist that. Like he just wants to give in and be needy and insecure and all these things. But then in the title of his post, he says, why can't I just chill? So what he's kind of saying right there is that, well, it's difficult to kind of withhold his emotions. That's what he's trying to do, is basically has all these emotions, and then he's trying to basically like hold back like all of them, and putting a bunch of effort in to hold them back. Like say it's like he's got like a dam or something like that that's holding back a bunch of water, and there's a bunch of like cracks in the dam. And now he's having to like fill these cracks with his hands, and just like he only has 2 hands, but there's 3, 4, now there's 5 cracks everywhere. And it's like he feels like it's going to explode on him, and just all come crashing down. And he feels like he can't really control it. He doesn't know what to do. So he's like, well, do I give in back into those insecurities? No, because I know what that's like. I know what those insecurities are like. I know how to behave in that way. But also it's like he has some kind of hint that he wants to get out of those insecurities. Otherwise he wouldn't be trying to hold back the metaphorical dam. Let's continue. When I'm involved with someone I really like, okay, yeah, meaning the insecurities, etc. I'm always wondering if I said or did the wrong thing. So now he's back in the insecurity thing, not holding back the insecurities and struggling with holding everything back. So this guy seems to be kind of in a place where he doesn't really know what to do. He doesn't really know where to go. He doesn't really have a direction, because he's really all over the place and really scattered in where he needs to go and what to do in order to get the things that he wants, or he might not even know what he wants. So wondering if I said or did the wrong thing, and then trying to fix something that was probably just in my head to begin with. It's exhausting, and I'm sure ends up sabotaging any relationship or potential attraction. If you're sabotaging, usually that comes from you not believing that it's going to work. And so right now you're giving me a bunch of things that are just really sporadic. And so, maybe that really is the case. Maybe you don't believe that you deserve a relationship. Because if you don't feel like you deserve it, you're going to put yourself in situations where you can't really succeed, or you're not set up to succeed. And right now you're not. I mean, you're everywhere. You're all over the place, and you need to basically refine what you want, and then work towards getting that outcome, and find someone who you can model, so it'll basically eliminate all these other things that are complicating your whole situation, and just put it at one thing and go towards that one thing. But it really all starts from a belief that you deserve it. And, well, how do you do that? How do you gain your belief, and how do you gain your belief in that? Well, you gain your self-worth. And so self-worth is really gained from, succeeding makes a big impact. It's really, we need to succeed in our lives. It's like just an emotional health thing we need success. Because if we're living in like everything we do causes failure, this guy's situation, he's linking pain to not being insecure, because he's got to hold up all these things. He doesn't know how to act in this way. He's going through a bunch of this uncertainty. Then he's linking pain to being in his insecurity. And so it's like everywhere he turns, he feels like he's getting pain. And he's linking pain to all these things, and he doesn't have any pleasure or any kind of success or positive thing to link, to know where to go and know what direction to move towards. And another thing for building your self-worth is really just doing the things that you say. So it's like, if you say you're going to work out 3 times a week, you work out 3 times a week, little things like that. Or you say you're going to get up at this certain time, you get up at that certain time. Or you say something like along those lines, especially something that makes progress towards your life or your purpose or your mission. If you can do those things and then just not go back on your word. So if you like set a date with someone, you don't just like bail last minute or because you get afraid or things along those lines. It's like if you say what you mean, do what you mean, do what you say, it's going to have an impact on your confidence, especially as, just like a man, and just like, really having that masculine, that core of doing what you say. He says, yeah, it's exhausting. And I'm sure it ends up sabotaging any relationship or potential attraction. My judgment just starts going haywire. So he gets afraid. It's like he gets in fearful states, but it's like also he doesn't know what's going to lead to pain. So he's always in this state of uncertainty when it comes to relationships. And when you're like that, well, people don't really want to go towards pain. It's like, why would they? It's like if you're linking up pain to all of the things you can possibly do in a relationship, you're going to get pain. And so it's like we run away from pain. So you run away from situations like this, what you're talking about. Yeah, haywire in general, and I just start acting like a version of myself that I don't particularly like. My normal personality and sense of humor doesn't come through. Any words of advice, book recommendations, support, etc. would be appreciated. My words of advice would be to find someone who you can model that has a success proven method. You find that, you succeed once, it's going to be a shock to you. And when you can find that success, that is your bright light that you can follow, that you can find a way out of the tunnel of all this pain and uncertainty. It's like if you see that light, head towards that light, but you need some kind of success, or at least some kind of or you can see it in another person succeeding. And so if you can see that success in another person, it's like that can be your light. And then you replicate the actions that person does, and then you replicate their process. So go through my videos. I talk about dating, pickup, relationships. And so I provide that thing. So basically principles and guidelines and practical examples that you can use in order to march towards and take a step at a time towards that light. And so, man, that's what you need. You need to succeed right now, and you need to find some kind of mission, and you need to find what purpose you're on, and you need to identify what you truly want, and you need to recognize that right now you're linking pain to all these things, and look at that objectively. It's like, okay, this is what I'm doing right now, but it's like, okay, this is what the mind's doing right now. The mind, not me. This is like, if you look at things objectively, it's easier to change. And so if you can look at this objectively, it's like, okay, the mind is trying to protect me because I've had all these painful experiences in the past. And so it's like, I thank my mind for doing this, but it's like, okay, I recognize all these situations happen, but this is a new situation. I'm a new person. I've gained the skills. I'm doing what I say. I have a mission now. I know what I want. And so now that I know what I want and I've seen that light, it's like, okay, now I thank you for that, the mind, for that, for linking all the pain to those situations to protect me. But it's like, okay, I need to put that aside right now, and I need to work towards succeeding. So it's a process. It can take you a little while to learn these skills and learn how to like fluidly apply them and implement them in your dating, pickup, relationships. But if you can do that, that is really what you need. And each day when you're making progress is a day that you really feel good about yourself.